Well, g'day everybody. Sam Marwood here from Cultivate Farms. We're all about making farm dreams a reality. And as part of that, we are finding all the best people in Australia doing the best things for you as aspiring farmers to get you farm ready. And when you're on your farm, to have all the knowledge you need. And we have found the number one person that you need to know in your farming careers who's built the farm table. Her name is Airlie Trescowthick. Airlie, welcome. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much, Sam, for having me. Very excited.
Pleasure. So the farm table, it's all about, I've described it previously as the Google for farming. It's all about the one-stop shop for aspiring farmers or any farmer to jump on and find out information related to farming and agriculture. Airlie, did you wake up one morning a few years ago and think, I want to build a website and specifically to just hand out free information and good information and connect people? Is this how this all started?
No, actually, it started from my own issues, I guess, and the problems I saw or felt being back on my own farm, my family farm back in Holbrook. And I love learning, and I hadn't done an ag science degree, and I was sort of fresh and green on farm. So I turned online to upskill and learn more, and it was just a bit of a disaster. Stuff was everywhere. It was really hard to garner practical learnings from it. So it really started as a bit of an Excel database and a bit of a hobby, and it grew organically from there as people, the need was there, and I just kept growing it and growing it.
A spreadsheet. So you had a spreadsheet on your computer, and then you would go and click on things that you thought were interesting, and no one else saw this spreadsheet? Or was it?
Yeah, no one else saw it. It was just because I find it really hard to find things again. You end up down rabbit traps or good news articles or good tools and why I liked them. So it was just a really simple Excel database that tracked all that, because trying to find a good resource in the first place and then find it again was pretty difficult.
That's interesting, because in a way I do that with bookmarks, and yeah, I've got a to-do list, and that's probably where I dump it all. But you've taken that another step further, which is, well, why just do this for myself? I'll do it for everyone else. So can you remember the first person you sent your spreadsheet to? Is that how it all?
It was Dad, actually, because he's savvy enough online, and he wanted to know what I was learning about. So I showed him, and he was like, "Oh my God, there's feed nutrition calculators, and I can work out my cost of production on a website. Awesome." So he got really excited, and but it was pretty basic, and it still is. And what I'm doing at the moment is really trying to build that database and make it more valuable for people and do the work for them, so it's a little bit easier.
Oh, well, it's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for that effort.
You'll have to be patient, though.
So given your experience with this, what is the main online frustration for aspiring farmers or any farmer out there, and that you're
I
helping
probably
solve?
found three key problems that I found, and that's been probably shown time again through what people are searching for on the farm table and what they come to me for. And a lot of it's around objective information, so research and trial results or non-news stories, I guess. And then the next one is practical information. So what does it mean for me? So what? What can I do about it? And then the other problem is probably case studies as well. Who's done it before? We always want to learn from someone else that's done it and done it well. And then the other problem was just efficiency online. You go down rabbit holes and you can spend hours and hours searching and never really quite find what you need. So it's probably a few problems I was trying to put a stop to.
Yeah, wow, it is. You can spend so much time and researching, and yeah, having others tested it is definitely something I definitely want to find out. If a mate recommended it, I'm definitely going to chase it up.
Yeah.
So what happens? So I've googled the farm table on there. What happens there, Airlie? What are the main things that I can click on and consume?
So I moved into a full-time role, so it sort of was on the back burner and grew kind of organically. So the site, as it is now, I don't recommend going and visiting just yet. It's going to change a lot and be a lot more valuable, and I'm really focused on the user experience, and actually me as a test case. Now I'm farming full-time with my partner. What resources do I need to help me make my dream a success? So, but currently the information's set up in between a central station, so non-commodity specific information, and a sheep and a beef toolbox. But the future of the farm table will be more looking at the learning journey of a new farmer. So there'll be a learn section, which is more a knowledge library, and then you can filter it via those things, whether you're a sheep or a beef farmer, or you want to learn about succession planning or business planning. It'll all be filterable and searchable. And then moving through their journey into upskilling, so having a national training and events database. And then moving on to an innovation hub, sort of, okay, I've learnt the basics, my skill knowledge is right, and now I really want to accelerate my learning and my farm opportunities. So having a tech, product and solutions database. And then the fourth phase of it will be a farmer exchange. So either let's connect with someone else, my peer, or if I'm an older member of the farming industry, I'm ready to contribute and give back. So bringing that platform thinking to farmers so they can really start to learn from each other whilst not having to be next to each other geographically. So It's going to change a little bit, but the problem that I'm trying to solve has stayed consistent. It's just solving it a little bit more smartly and a little bit of a nicer experience for you. So
if I've got a cool service or a product in ag industry, I should get in contact with you. And also, if I think I've got a lot of knowledge, I should be in contact with you as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about taking the power back as an industry to us, so harnessing our collective knowledge. And if you're an agri-product provider software, or you're a service, you're a whole farm planner, or you're a really great agronomist, and you want to either share your content, which I can do. I think we need to be creating and disseminating more content, good quality content in the industry. It's lacking, but also getting in touch, people getting those connections up. And I provide that platform for that linkage to happen, as opposed to a traditional sort of advertising setup print. It's another way to connect with farmers, and for farmers to connect with really good providers and service offerings as well.
That's great, and that's why we love it at Cultivate Farms. We're all about connecting people together so they can set up their farm, but also connecting people to knowledge. That's why we're talking right now, because it's great. So, I want to talk more about why you started this and how you started it, and some advice for others thinking of doing similar things. But before we get there, what farm table do you have?
I've recently moved to my partner's cottage out of Deniliquin. Yep. So my dining table, my farm table, is now my office desk because it didn't fit anywhere else. So I'm quite lucky. I've got a huge desk.
Wow.
But we've got an outdoor timber table in sort of an outdoor veranda, which we use for guests and things. But we don't have a kitchen table.
Oh, no.
Typical farm table. But that's why I chose the name. It's sort of really inclusive. Everyone's there. There's feast to be had by all commodities, all people. And you do a lot of learning around a farm kitchen table as well. So often the books are done on there before computers and things. So, yeah.
It's a clever name. I love it.
Thank you.
So, you quit your job. This is recently.
Yeah.
And I know that you were working for a number of years before that. What was the point that you got to where you're like, that's it, I'm quitting, I'm going to do this full time? What's the thought process there? Or were there certain things that there were some milestones you met, or was there a level of frustration, or that you just had this massive passion? How do you get to that point?
Yeah, it was a really hard decision. And the advice was coming at me from all angles. It was, you've got a great idea, but the revenue model's not there. Don't leave your job. You've got a long distance boyfriend. Let's head down there. So it was life and business hitting me at once. And I'd worked for Paraway Pastoral Company for about 18 months after leaving the family farm, and it wasn't long enough. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I was learning so much, and I'd never take that back. But, hitting 30 and wanting to move on, and understanding that the farm table was 2 years old. It only got my attention at nights and in the mornings and on the weekends, but it was still, 5,000 visitors a month. It was still just ticking over. People were interested. I was getting emails every day asking for more information or different information, but I couldn't service it. So it's a bit of the fear of failure has gone. It's just more of a fear of regret. I want to give it a go. I see the value. I want to be the best farmer I can be, and my partner. So this is part of my learning journey as well. But the advice I got through online blogs and things was don't leave your full-time job until your earning capacity matches your salary. And I was like, that's never going to happen while I don't give the farm table my full divided attention. I didn't like that piece of advice. It might work in some industries, but I wanted to be offering my stakeholders the best experience, and I can't do that if I had 3/4 of my brain focused on something else. So roundabout way, really tough decision, but I'm thrilled. I'm loving working for myself and creating every day, and hopefully creating a really beautiful and useful product for the industry in a few months.
That's a great insight, because I think I quit my job too soon.
Really?
To start Cultivate Farms, and I think there is that balance. You've got to be able to, you got to have something that works, and also you got to know that it's going to bring enough money to be able to live as well. So
absolutely,
it is a very bold move, Airlie, and
you too, Sam.
Thank you.
I think you're wonderful.
So I think you've sort of answered already. Let's say there's someone watching now who's thinking, I'm going to create the next ag tech amazing product or service. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. Do you advise that, or is it that you've got to have a proven product that you can work on between 5 and midnight every night to test it? Is that the way you should go? I
definitely think what you said at the end there has to be done for a certain amount of time. No, I'm not putting a defined time limit on it, but you have to be able to understand it's enough of a passion and a drive for you to put the computer down at 6 p.m. or whatever from your day job, and then be willing enough and dedicated enough to pick it up outside of those hours and on the weekends, and test. Having a sort of a minimum viable product out there is useful, but it's not always doable. Also, I probably wouldn't say I'm ag tech. I'm probably more of a service provider. And for me, any advice I could give is go to the why, the problem, why you're doing it. Don't think of this fancy product or service or app or whatever it is. Think about the problem. I think there's so much entering the industry that's focused on the end product, or sort of big sky thinking without thinking what's the value for the farmer, if that's your target market. Is it going to change? Is it going to be useful for them? And really going back to that why. If someone asks you why are you doing this and you can't answer it, then you have to really think if you're going to stick at it for, what are you, near 2 years now? You got to keep going without an income, and if you have to believe in it. So that's a long-winded answer, Sam, but I'm really passionate about value creation and not just filling the market.
That's it. I love it. So you got to test it, know it can work, and have your fallback job in the meantime, so you have that when, if it doesn't work, you've got something to fall back onto.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think one of the things that I felt was there's all this buzz around technology and online and businesses and startups, and you think, all I have to do is I'll raise heaps of cash, and in 6 months I'll be smashing this out of the park. Is that true? It's
amazing. I thought, it's crazy. I thought finishing my full-time job, it'd be like bang, 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 launch within 3 weeks, and then it was 3 months, and now it's probably 6 to 9 months, because the more time you've got to work on it, it's kind of beautiful. You go, hell, I can do this. I want to do it properly. I don't want to be just a girl with a website. I want to actually have a really useful, sustainable business model, and it takes a lot of brain power and a lot of just go. So it's going to take a lot longer than I thought.
So there's no overnight successes though either, I think, in this whole industry. Like the relationships, people knowing about you, it just takes time.
Oh, absolutely. And they say, an overnight success takes 5 to 10 years of work beforehand, and then it's like bang.
Yep.
So,
Got a bit of that.
I completely agree.
So what about, where are the gaps in your field, Airlie, and in the information and the ease at which farmers can get access to it that you're sort of angry about and you want to get stuck into, or you think others should get stuck into?
Yeah, I think probably the stuff I said at the start around objective, practically based farmer experiences and research.
Yep.
I think that research coming and being disseminated and extended through to the grassroots, I feel is a really big issue at the moment. Probably not one I can solve on my own, but hope to in the future. The others around the ability to someone to really quickly and easily find any funding and grant opportunities that might be relevant to them. That can take hours of Google searching to find out you're not eligible. And for me, having that, being in a family farming business and loving to learn and having big hopes and dreams, but not having that formal sort of learning and development partner or guide through your career, I find, I have worked for a corporate farming organisation, and there's checks and balances on you, and you've got a mentor above you that's checking in, or a manager each year. How are you going? How are you feeling? Are you confident about your progress on holistic farming practices, or on integrating your livestock and your stubbles? Just little things, but you're setting those goals for yourself. So that's a big gap, I think, I don't want people to feel on their own, particularly when there's information overload. So a few things there.
Those are great. Have you got that one? I don't want to see that people are on their own. That's great. You should have that as your tagline.
I want to be the online sidekick, but we'll get there.
That is great. So Airlie, the best websites for ag and information, can you tell us, apart from the farm table, 3 of the best that people should be checking out?
Yeah, a bit of a hard one, Sam. That's where I hope to get to. But to be honest, farmstyle.com.au is really good for smaller farms and starting out. Some really good practical advice. I think it's good. There's a few coming out of the States, Modern Farmers, quite good. But again, when you really want to get into farm and business production, at the moment there's not a heap. Government, state department sites are not bad. Often not so well organised, but there's information hidden in there. And then in terms of, I'd start from the start and go, there's ruralcareers.net.au. I find quite good because it really goes, okay, I want to be a farmer or an agronomist or something, really understanding what that pathway looks like and what skills they need before jumping in. I think it's good. Yeah.
But are you touching on here that this is a reason why you started the farm table early, that the information?
Yeah, look, definitely. I could find old books and things, but trying to find updated information about production itself. So I love livestock farming, so from sheep, from health to genetics, all the way through, trying to get the basics. Found it really hard, and then also around business planning and things, and grants and succession planning, everything. It was just, I had a lot of trouble. GRDC and MLA do a great job at what they do for sure, but if I can start collating the best of all these places, then hopefully be useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So once you've figured out and solved all the problems, what's the online world going to look like in 10 years' time, 2027, and for a farmer wanting to find information?
2027, I think, well, hopefully every farming rural household will have smashing internet. But a lot of it'll be customised, everything. I think there'll be an artificial intelligence, so everything will start talking to each other, I think. And I think the answers will be there before you even have the question, I guess. And your computer won't sit on its own. It'll be, connected to all your sensors and your tractors and everything talking to each other. Hopefully the net won't be just information, it'll be solutions as well. So there will be a lot of more analytical capability to help you solve your problems. That's around the tech space as well.
And what about you, Airlie? We're all about making farm dreams a reality. Are you a farmer now, or have you got farming dreams, and what would those dreams be, or what are they going to be?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here. So we've got a family farm back in Holbrook, a bit further east of here. We're working through what happens with the next generation at the moment, which is, it's tough. We want to do the best for our parents and multi-generations. But currently I'm on my partner's farm. He's a mixed farming farmer here. He's been back on the farm probably 4 years. He's still young and giving it a wonderful crack. I'm very proud of him. But our dream is to run a farm or farms, hopefully together. And my dream, I love my livestock and integrating pasture management with that. So I'd love to have I think a self-replacing dual-purpose merino flock would be I love wool, but I love meat, and having probably a lamb finishing business as well. So to do that, I would love, the big dream is to have a breeding block, a pastoral block, and then maybe more a finishing block on our irrigation country here. But for me, and this is why I'm doing the farm table, I guess, and creating it, is that I want to know every inch of my business and every hectare of my farm and how it works and why. Until I know that, I won't know how to expand or do it better. So I think, and it's a big step. We're just trying to run day to day at the moment. But yeah, I want to be the best business manager whilst getting the fundamentals bang on. And that's, I guess for me, redeveloping the farm table, I'm re-looking at every resource and commenting on it, so it's actually more useful for you. And I'm loving it. It's daunting. There's so much to get your head around, but geez, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So big dreams, but got time, hopefully.
I think it's great, and that's probably just another reason why people should check out the farm table, in that it's solving your problem. You're a farmer, and if it's solving yours, it's going to solve a lot of people's problems. So that's, it's coming from a great place. So I'll wrap it up very shortly, Airlie, but any comments? I know you said you're not ag tech, but I want to get your thoughts on this whole ag tech boom, or this perception that ag tech is the next cool thing, and it's exciting to be in. Is that true, or are there any cautions that you'd give to anybody heading into this world, or is there any feelings, I guess, from the broader farming sector about this?
Yeah, look, I think my first answer would be it's really exciting. It's lovely to see interest, new skills, funding, money, capital coming into our sector, and interest at a national and global level about assisting us to be the best producers we can be. But if that gets lost in the piece, helping us to become the best producers that we can be, I think there might be an issue, and I think farmers might get jaded with new things, lots of money coming in, but it never quite hitting the ground level. So I think if grants and funding do go out for new ag tech, I think really that farmers need to be on steering committees and things for that from the beginning. And I think, very positive, but we just have to watch that the solutions that say they're farmer focused are farmer focused, and they're actually filling gaps that we need, and not just proliferating it and getting on the bandwagon, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. That's a really good insight. I agree, absolutely. Airlie, where do we go to do some clicking and to feel like you're my sidekick? Where should I go?
So for the moment, just head to thefarmtable.com.au, and I've just got a little mention on the front page that we are redeveloping at the moment, but you can pop your email address and your age and your postcode would be great, and just register that you're interested in what's happening, and I'll let you know when the new site's up and running. It's just nice to get your postcode and your email and your age, so I can start to understand more and more who's interested in coming to a site like mine, and I want to service you better as well, depending on your age profile and where you live. I'd love people to put their hand forward if they want to test it. Put me through the ringer. I want to, try and break the new site for me. I want it to be the best it can be. So
I love it. Airlie, thank you. Thanks for your time, and well done on all this effort you've put in and the dedication you've shown. I think the ag industry in general is already and will be continually grateful for the effort you've put in, the time and the personal sacrifice you've made to do this. So thank you, and we just hope the farm table gets bigger and bigger and solves many people's problems.
Thanks, Sam. Right back at you. Very proud about what you're doing.
Cheers.
Awesome.
See you soon.
See ya.